In a dense forest, there was a giant oak tree. It was the biggest and strongest tree in the whole forest. It stood tall and proud, watching all the other trees and plants below it. One day, the oak tree saw a small bamboo plant nearby. It was thin and weak compared to the oak tree. So the oak tree started to laugh at the bamboo. "Look how weak and thin you are," the oak tree said. "I am strong and powerful. I can withstand any storm. You bend and break in the slightest breeze." The oak tree continued to laugh and make fun of the bamboo for being so weak. But the bamboo remained humble and didn't argue with the oak. It knew that even though it was small and weak, it had its own strengths. It didn't need to be the biggest or the strongest to be valuable. One night, a huge storm rolled into the forest. The wind roared like a hungry beast, shaking the trees and plants. Lightning flashed and thunder boomed, making the forest dark and scary. The rain poured down in torrents, making the rivers overflow and the soil muddy. The storm was the worst one the forest had seen in many years. The oak tree was scared. It had never seen such a fierce storm before. It tried to hold its ground and stay strong, but the wind was too powerful. It bent the branches of the oak tree and made it shake like a leaf in a pond. The oak tree struggled to stay upright, but it couldn't withstand the force of the storm. With a loud crack, the oak tree snapped and fell down. Its strong and sturdy trunk was broken. Its large and heavy branches were scattered around. The oak tree lay on the forest floor, defeated and destroyed. When the storm finally passed, the sun came out and the birds sang. The animals in the forest started to come out of their hiding places. They were all scared by the storm, but they were also curious to see the damage it had done. When they saw the oak tree lying on the ground, they were shocked and saddened. The oak tree had been the biggest and strongest tree in the forest, and now it was just a pile of wood. The bamboo plant was also shaken by the storm, but it had survived. It was still standing tall and straight, even though its leaves were wet and its branches were swaying. The bamboo plant looked at the fallen oak tree and felt sad. It knew that the oak tree had been a good tree, and it had never meant to hurt its feelings. But the bamboo plant also knew that it had to be strong and wise in order to survive in the forest. After the storm, the forest was much quieter. The big and loud oak tree was gone, and with it, the shade and shelter it had provided. The other trees missed the oak tree, but they knew that it had become weak and inflexible in its old age, and that had caused its downfall. The bamboo plant continued to grow and thrive in the forest. It became the tallest and most graceful plant in the forest. It swayed and danced in the wind, bending and swaying with the rhythm of nature. The bamboo plant knew that its flexibility and adaptability were its greatest strengths. It didn't resist the wind or the rain. It embraced it and used it to help it grow and flourish. One day, the bamboo plant was surrounded by young and small plants. They looked up at the bamboo plant and asked, "How have you become so strong and wise? How have you survived so many storms and hardships?" The bamboo plant smiled and said, "My dear friends, strength is not always about being hard and firm. It's also about being flexible and adaptable. True strength is in flexibility, not resistance. Those who resist break, but those who adapt, dance, and stand tall after life's storms." The young plants nodded and understood the importance of being flexible and adaptable. They knew that they would face many challenges in their lives, but they were determined to embrace them and use them to make themselves stronger and wiser. And that's the story, friends. A story about a mighty oak tree and a humble bamboo plant. It's a reminder for us all to stay grounded, stay flexible, and stay true to ourselves, no matter what challenges we may face in life. Until next time, stay strong and keep growing through life's storms with grace and resilience.